Humanity since the beginning of time has been a two-sided coin. We raise each other up and we tear each other down. Have you ever wondered what the lowest of the low can look like? What acts will make your skin lurch? A woman who turned her victims into treats. A man who put his mother's head in a pot. A woman who massacred her family. And a man who ate his child victims. We call these cardinal sins. Hello and welcome to Cardinal Sins, the weekly deep dive in the truly disturbing. I'm your host, Bryn Fawn.
And I'm AJ Payro.
Thank you for joining us this week. You have partners, right?
Yeah,
You ever get mad at them?
definitely.
You ever get, really mad at them?
Once or twice.
You ever threaten to kill yourself and your kids because you're mad at them?
Thankfully, I don't have kids.
I wish this lady didn't either. Today, we're talking about Susan Eubanks. She was born in 1964 and was married and divorced. Yay, happy divorce. She worked in a hospital, specifically the surgical room. She was saving lives, and ironic, she killed 4. She was the jealous type, your stereotypical, jealous girl, She had convinced herself that all men, remember when a guy goes, not all men? She would say, yes, all men. She thought all men were liars and just out there to betray her. The killing spree was sudden, kind of like, a kettle whistling, it just happens. On October 26, 1999, she was home with her sons, nephew, and boyfriend. She was drinking alcohol and taking Valium. Do you know what that is?
That's anxiety medication.
Yeah. So, they're drunk and on medication, and then they broke out into a fight. Kind of commonplace.
They both were
Yes.
abusing Valium, not just her?
Yes.
Okay.
During the fight, her boyfriend threatened to leave. In retaliation, Susan slashed his tires. He called the police, requesting that they help him go home. They came, he was allowed to take some stuff, and they escorted him away. This sent Susan into an absolute rage. This cemented the idea that all men are terrible. So, like any good mother, she picked up a .38 caliber gun. Susan shot her 3 eldest sons before police arrived. The boyfriend had tipped off the ex-husband because she threatened to kill herself and the kids. But the police did not make it in time. When they arrived on scene, they heard sobbing. They found 4-year-old Matthew crying.
Oh, that's horrible.
An ambulance was called for Matthew, but he died in the hospital. Matthew was aged 4, Brigham, 6, Austin, 7, and Brandon, 14. Already dead. And then they found Susan with a gunshot wound to the abdomen, who was also a mess and crying.
You could imagine. Shot yourself in the stomach. Very interesting choice. You don't hear about that often.
Luckily, her nephew was safe. Obviously, emotional damages, but no harm was done to him physically. Susan was in the hospital for 5 days before she was arrested for first-degree murder. The trial began in August, later the same year. Prosecution argued she had killed her sons in a rage and revenge against her boyfriend and ex-husband.
She sure did.
The defense said she blacked out and was unable to control or be aware of her actions. Do you believe her?
No.
It was noted that she killed her sons execution style, but had not done so for herself. If she really wanted to die, she obviously knew how to kill, even herself.
And for the listeners that don't know what that means, execution style is when you're put down on your knees or you're up against a wall and someone shoots you in the back of the head. She wanted it done quickly, even if, and no credit to her, but it does appear that she knew how to kill someone.
Yeah.
And she knew how to do it quickly and efficiently. Execution style, back of the head, boom, done. But with herself, she went for the abdomen, which is not going to kill you quickly and it's not efficient.
No.
If that's what you're going for.
No, your vital organs are up here in your upper chest.
So that's a very interesting detail, I think.
After 2 hours of deliberation, the jury found Susan guilty. She was sentenced to death and is currently sitting on death row.
And this happened in 19...
99. So
And she's still on death row.
Yep. Almost 30 years. Not killed yet.
No matter what your opinion on the death penalty is, I've always found that strange, where it's like they're put on death row, and 30 years later they still haven't killed them. What's the point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
She's on the small list of women on death row, actually. There's not as many women. Thank you so much for joining us this week with Cardinal Sins. Remember, read the full in-depth article at cardinalpointsonline.com. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you next time.